Hey guys, this is Heather from healthyveganrecipes.net. So what I've got for you today is a recipe that you can use as the main or as one of many delicious dishes that you have on your table for Thanksgiving or Christmas. A lot of people have trouble finding vegan recipes for holidays because they think about replacing the meat. But what you can think about instead is just making a delicious meal with the foods that are in season right now. So what I've got is a sweet potato, and I'm gonna make this with some rice, and we're gonna bake it in the oven so that it's super easy. You just put all the ingredients into an oven-proof dish, pop it in the oven, and leave it to bake. So it's really simple and kind of on par with turkey for being super easy to put together, and then get on with anything else that you want to do on your Thanksgiving. Alright, so I'm starting it off with some brown rice back here in an oven-proof dish, and I've got 1 cup of short grain brown rice with 2 cups of water. You can use long grain brown rice if you like. They're pretty similar, just the short grain gets a bit stickier and thicker, so I'm gonna do that. Then I've got a sweet potato, peeled and chopped up. You can see the size of the pieces. I was actually going to do squash in this recipe, but my squash had gone bad on me. So, alas, back to sweet potato. Sweet potato is one of my favorite foods, so I'm actually kind of happy about that. But either one would be lovely. Okay, this is some pear that I've chopped up about the same size as the sweet potato. Now for some people, mixing fruit in with dinner is not a good idea. It can give you gas, but for me, I don't have a problem. My system can handle the fruit. Okay, so those are the main ingredients there. Then we're gonna season this up, and I'm gonna put a little splash of lemon juice in here. Fresh lemon or lime would be amazing, but I'm just gonna use the jar. Then I've got some fresh parsley that I'm just going to quickly chop up. I like to take the stems off for the most part, but they are still nutritious, so if you're okay with the stems, you can leave them on. I usually leave them on when it's just Phil and I, and if I'm serving guests, I'll take them off. So get that in there. Now, if you're looking for the measurements and the exact recipe, you can head over to healthyveganrecipes.net. I'll post it there. Next, I've got some nutmeg. Great holiday flavor, but you don't need too much. Same with cardamom. It's a really interesting flavor, and it goes really nicely with the pear. And then lastly, I've got some ground cloves. Now, you can go whatever spice direction you like. If you don't like those 3 that I just put in, you can use something else, or if you don't have them, you can use some different flavors. Cinnamon would be great, some paprika would be nice, or just like a pumpkin pie spice if you have a mixed spice. So go with whatever you like. Those 3, I like the combination, but don't need to do that. What's important is the basic foods that are in here, and you want to have some kind of flavor, otherwise it might be a little bit bland. And then I'm going to add some salt, which I use Herbamere. It's a sea salt that's blended with dried herbs and dried vegetables, so really good for adding flavor, and the salt helps cook the vegetables and bring all the flavors together, and just really good. Last thing I'm going to add are some raisins, just to give it a little sweetness along with the pear. You can use dried cranberries as well. That would be really nice, but I'm going to serve this with some cranberry chutney that I showed you in the video last week. So I thought dried cranberries plus cranberries might be a little bit of overkill, but up to you. Now just give this a bit of a stir so that the seasonings and the parsley and the raisins and everything all get in there. The raisins, by the way, are going to plump up with all of the water and get nice and juicy and delicious. Then put a lid on this because you don't want that water to evaporate. You want the water to soak into the rice and let it cook. And then put this in the oven. You're going to want it at 350 because you want the water to get boiling a little bit, and leave it in there for about 45 minutes to an hour. You want everything to be nice and soft and come together really nicely. But the great thing is you just pop it in the oven, forget about it. Go on and do whatever else you feel like doing. So, took a little bit longer than expected, an hour and a quarter for me, but it's looking beautiful right now. And the good thing is, like I said, you don't have to sit here while it's cooking. You can go off and cook the rest of your meal, or read a book, or hang out with your family or your friends or whatever. Also, good thing, made the whole house smell amazing. The spices in here, and the sweet potato, and the raisin, and the pear baking together, amazing. So there it is. You can see that the rice has absorbed the liquid there, and the sweet potato is nice and soft. The raisins have gotten nice and plump, and that is going to be an excellent holiday dish. And it'll go wonderfully with a bunch of other dishes, especially the cranberry apple chutney that I filmed for you last week. You can check out that recipe along with all of the exact measurements for this one over at healthyveganrecipes.net. I'd love to know what you guys think. Leave me a comment and let me know, and I will see you guys next time.